First of all, Andrew, how are you?
Good, thank you very much. Good.
I always like to start in the beginning. So, do you remember the first record that you ever bought?
Yeah, I remember the first album I was ever given, actually,
Okay.
which was a Thin Lizzy album.
Okay.
Thin Lizzy's Live and Dangerous. The first record I ever bought was a Daft Punk single for One More Time, I think.
And well, you mentioned the Thin Lizzy album. Why does this album is the first that you've been given? So does it stick out in a way for you?
It does, certainly when I'm a big Thin Lizzy fan, but I only had one album for it. I suppose that's the thing about having one album, your first album, is that you've only one thing to listen to. So I listened to that constantly.
And what did you like about it? What attracted you to it?
I don't know. I think the songs, Thin Lizzy songs, are fantastic. Phil Lynott, is an amazing character, amazing performer, and amazing rapport with the audience. And just I don't know. I was kind of into rock as well at the time. So, but like the cowboy songs, gorgeous, and I don't know, all the kind of classic hits.
Because I believe that there was a lot of music being played as you were growing up.
Yeah, oh, big time. Yeah, I would have. My dad is big into music, and he was a musician. And, his record collection also would have been like my first education. So, a lot of blues music, a lot of kind of chess record stuff.
Maybe one or two names or songs that stick out.
Yeah, people like Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters. So, I suppose listen to Muddy Waters and a bit of John Lee Hooker also.
What age was this when this was being played a lot? Because at what point did it instill in you a desire to make music yourself?
Yeah. It was any age from literally from the time I was born. So some of my earliest memories are kind of friends of my father who were musicians also, and but then like maybe I certainly remember being like 8 and 9 and listening to soul music and blues music a lot, discovering people like Van Morrison and soul singers like Sam and Dave, and my ears really picked up when I kind of first heard that. So yeah, a lot of blues.
And then when did you want to make your own music? When did it go from hearing this music and then wanting to play it or write it?
Yeah, I was about 15, so when I kind of joined a band at the age of 15 doing blues covers and soul covers, and I was teaching myself. I also decided to kind of go back and teach myself how to play guitar at that stage, and started writing lyrics and stuff like that. I was very limited to the songs I could write because I couldn't really play guitar, so that was a slow process. But
what would these songs be about, the initial ones?
The earlier ones would have just been, I don't know, like juvenilia. So like they were bluesy actually for the most part. They were because that was the first music that I started to learn how to play on slide and stuff. So they were bluesy. They were, I suppose, it's things that teenagers write about. So being lonely and liking people and stuff like that. Or I think the early stuff was very much inspired by people like Booker White, slide players and stuff, because I played a lot of slide at the time.
Okay, and then the band you just mentioned, is that Anuna? Or,
Oh no! When I was 15, no, that was like a band that me and some kids like So I was 15, and the other guys were like 18 or so. We called ourselves the Blue Zoots, and we were this kind of like soul ensemble, I guess.
And was it immediately you that went to the forefront as a singer as well?
I joined later as a singer. Yeah, I joined their band later, and then I was involved in a lot of other projects through the years, of course.
But your voice was always part of the music you were doing.
I suppose, yeah. I was always a singer. Yeah.
Did you practice it at all early on?
Singing? No, I mean, not so much. Only through playing and stuff. So I never took lessons or anything like that, and it was really just. Yeah, I mean, I could sing before I could play any other instrument, so I always thought I was a singer. I'm a bit of a singer first. I kind of feel that way, yeah.
And then you did join Anuna, and I believe 2009?
Yes, correct, yeah.
And because we don't have a lot of time, I think, so there became a certain point where you thought, well, I want to do more my own work.
Oh yeah, big time. So during that time I was writing my own music in 2009. took part in a lot of projects with Trinity Orchestra and friends bands and stuff like that, and Anuno also was great fun. So I had my kind of finger in a lot of pies and kind of trying stuff out musically, but at the whole time I was writing constantly, you know. So it took a long time. I was working with producers as well during this period, doing different projects, but it took a while for me. It wasn't until more recently I decided to record my own music and capture what I wanted to capture.
What changed? Why that decision at that point?
I felt that I would not get across the kind of feelings, the kind of feeling of the music that I wanted to get across. I'd worked with a few producers, and I enjoyed it and I learned a lot, but I felt like there was something I needed to get across. And
what was lacking then? What was this thing that you wanted to get across?
It's what's in the music now. You know, it was just the sound that was in my head. So it's whatever is, you know, say we Take Me to Church or whatever. I just wanted to play around with sounds in my attic, and that's why I recorded them there. So to play around with vocal ideas and play around with stuff, I don't know what it was. I also wanted to stand back a bit and write music which I think reflected my influences a bit more. So just not be afraid to write blues songs and not be afraid to write folk songs.
Was that something that you were conscious of, because in today's society blues or those kind of genres of music aren't necessarily as big as
yeah, no, it was, and that's why I've been very, very surprised by the success of this stuff, because I made a conscious decision. I was sick of writing music that I thought that would impress people. I was sick of writing music that I thought would, you know, you're kind of, it's very, people try to pigeonhole you into something that's marketable, and I didn't like that idea. I had worked with producers that were very pop centered and very pop direction, had a very pop direction to it, and I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to get my own sounds down. I wanted to feel like I was close to the music, and that's I took some time out and just decided to record it at home, not with a very simple setup, and then brought those tracks to Robert Kerwin, and then we got together and we made them as pretty as possible. So kind of took the vocals and, you know, fleshed them out with real instrument sound. So.
Do you remember what the first song was that you that you wrote that ended up on the album?
Yeah, of these ones. Oh no, I mean, I remember on this album there's a lot of songs that the oldest song is maybe 2 years old.
Okay.
But of the ones that I kind of started recording myself, Take Me to Church was one of the very first ones. Yeah, or Like Real People Do, possibly. There was 3 songs: Angel of Small Death, Like Real People Do, and Take Me to Church, which I just experimented with recording myself. And
do you ever listen back to those things?
To the demos, no. No. I remember how I put them together, but I don't listen to the demos. I know the songs are on the album now, but I know, not really. Yeah.
Because I think was it just over a year ago that you posted the first Take Me to Church?
Take Me to Church, yeah, online for free. Yeah.
And then it kind of took off immediately. What was that something you were expecting? Was it something?
No. At all, no. So again, as I said, like I just wanted to, you know, I just wanted to do something that I was proud of, or that I could feel close to that music, and I didn't think it would take off. I didn't think it would be played on radio, just because it's not a radio pop song. You know, it doesn't sound like the other stuff that radios play. So yeah, I was very surprised by it.